Hi guys, hope you are doing good. Very often you must be thinking that how I will start my career in SAP consulting. If you are currently working on SAP end user, or if you think like I will change my domain and I will start working in SAP consulting career, or as a SAP analyst, SAP functional consultant, I will start my journey in MNC. So I hope this video is going to answer all your queries. Let's first clear the basics. What is the roles and responsibility of the functional consultant, or who is SAP functional consultant? Already I have prepared one video related to the responsibility of the analyst. I hope you check that. If you have not checked, you may refer that one also. Now in this video, I am going to talk about the consulting role or functional consulting role. So functional consultant or the SAP functional consultant is the person who understands the business and who understands the SAP. So we have to gather the information. We have to gather the business informations from the core team members. So whenever any company is planning to go for SAP implementation, so first they are going to build the team from their point of view who are going to work with the consultant. So they are the core team members, key users, anything you can say. So from them, we are going to gather the information, or we are going to understand the business process, because every business having their unique SOPs, and every business they are having their unique operations. So we have to understand their business process, and we have to gather as much as information we can before doing the system configuration. Suppose we are going to configure product costing, we are going to configure P2P, we are going to configure order to cash. So different business processes are there, record to report. So all these informations we have to gather, like how they are going to do their bank reconciliation, how they are going to do the cost calculation, profitability analysis. So all these informations we need to gather from business users, and we have to do a lot of customizations. So when I'm saying customizations means functional consultant. Here as a functional consultant, no one is expecting, or it is not expected that you are good in the programming, coding and all. If you have that knowledge, it's well and good, but as a functional consultant, mostly we are coming from functional module, like someone coming from the finance module, someone is coming from the logistic module, someone is coming from the HR module. So here the coding knowledge, programming knowledge, these are not required. So we can do the system customizations. So if you have completed your training, you can refer my word. So whatever you are doing in the system as a part of your IMG activities or customizations, so that is our roles and responsibility. Irrespective of whatever module you are responsible, FI, CO, MM, SD, whatever. So all these functional customizations we are going to do. And sometimes also everything is not possible through the functional consultant or functional customizations. So maybe we need the help of SAP developer. So we have to, in a project, multiple enhancements will be there. Some customized special developments are required, interface settings required. In that case, we need the help of SAP developers or ABAPer. So whatever the informations we gathered and whatever is not we can customize, or some special customizations, programming required, coding required, in that case, we need to communicate those things to the developers or the ABAPers, or we can say technical team. Say that they are going to do the customization. SAP project is not handled by one particular person. End to end is not possible. So it will be always team. So as a functional consultant, whatever the your module responsibility, that end to end you are going to deliver. But for example, let's say you are not responsible for logistics, so you need the help of logistic consultant, because we are going to integrate our finance and controlling with the logistic module. If you can manage both, then it is very good. Also, you need the help of your technical consultant or SAP developers. So that means your roles include various tasks. Like as I said, first one will be gathering the business requirement, and as per the business requirement or whatever the informations you gather, you are going to do the system customizations. Anything is not customizable, then that need to be communicated to the ABAPer for their development point of view. But how we will communicate? For that purpose, you need to share this information in a document form, or that is known as your creating functional specifications, which is commonly known as FS document. You can see this document, it's a functional specification. So like this, various type of requirements will be there where we can't do the customizations, or SAP standard functionalities are not available. Some specific developments are required, which will be handled by the technical team. But as a functional consultant, or as a particularly when you are in the junior role, you have to create a lot of FS or functional specifications. Definitely in interview, you will get questions, 1 or 2 questions from this part, like in your last project, how many functional specifications you have created, or can you give some example related to your FS which you did. right? So there is no standard format like how we are going to prepare a FS, but only thing is you should have the skill, what are the content should be there in a particular functional specifications. Next one will be doing the system customizations, which is nothing but your configuration customization, which I'm saying. Whatever the IMG settings you are doing the organization structure settings, you are doing the business process configurations, whatever the customizations you are doing in the IMG as part of your responsibility, and what is the whatever the module you are responsible. So that is also your primary configuration. Now, as a consultant, maybe you are not responsible for everything, but again, this is a question like these questions, there is no direct answer. How much configurations you are going to do in a particular project, or if you are responsible for FICO out of this FICO, because FICO is also very vast. So that's why what task you are going to give, whether you are going to work on the CO part or only you are going to work on FI or FICO both. So when you are going to start your career or when you are looking for the job, that time don't be choosy that I only focus on the FI, I will not work on the CO, or let's say I don't know the CO, so I should focus on the FI, so on that basis you will get the job. No, that won't work. So when you are going to prepare for interview, everywhere you will find that the requirement of end-to-end solution is required, or you should responsible for end-to-end. So that is why maybe in project your task will be, let's say you are going to work on asset accounting, GL, AR, AP. That is the roles and responsibility that time it will be assigned. But interview point of view, you should be you should be expert in all areas. Then only it is going to work. So configuration, the system hands-on or system configuration is highly required based on your module, that is your FI, MM, SD, CO, whatever. Plus, you should also responsible for the testing solutions, because after doing the customizations, whatever expected result, whether it is coming or not, you have to also manage that one if you are in the testing project. Okay, so let's say the customization team, they have completed their configuration and you are responsible for testing. You can see here this testing document. So this testing document is need to be prepared by you if you are there in the testing project, or if you are responsible for testing activity. So your job is to prepare the test script, you need to perform the testing activities, and mostly when you are going to start your career or in junior role, this type of task will be assigned. So once you be there in the senior role, maybe you will not involve in the testing role, but initially maybe for a couple of months you will get a project related to testing. So you should very good in the integration testing, you should get very good in the performance testing. So all the testing activities also you should manage. So that is also again another activities. Once the go live completed, then after that it is hypercare. That means supporting the project or supporting the team. So if you are there in the support project, so it is one of your activities, that is supporting, or means you are going to give the project support. Many companies, they are going to hire support consultant after go live, or sometimes your vendor, means the company where you are right now you are working, so after go live they may be deploy you as a support consultant. So initially when you are going to start your career as an associate consultant or junior consultant, maybe you will get the support project, right? So initially let's say 1 year you are there in the support, then after that you are going to get the implementation. So when you are going to prepare for job, you should good in all areas, so that whatever the profile you are going to get or whatever the interview you are going to get, so you can perform well. So it's not about knowing the SAP transactions. It is like not knowing some T codes which you can manage. When you are going for consulting or when you are going for an analyst role, it is about understanding the business work, how SAP is going to simplify the business process. It's not like one company started today and they are going to implement SAP. Any company which they are going to SAP implement SAP, they are since last 10 years, 15 years, they are already working in operation. They have many business processes are there. Maybe right now they are not using SAP, any other ERP, or let's say they are right now using ERP, which is not that is not that capable. So that's why they are going to implement SAP. So our purpose is to simplify their business process, and what are the gray areas they have, or what are the problem they have, those things we are going to simplify. So that's why it is highly required. We should understand the business process in detail, and we should when you are going to interact with your customer, your core team member, you can able to understand their problems, their pain areas. Then only you are going to simplify their business process, or you are going to give the solutions. So I have seen that many people, they are saying that we have completed the training, but we don't know business process. We know certain T codes. Suppose you are doing something, you should know the logic fundamentally, why you are doing this one. For example, how many entities we have. So without knowing anything, we just created a company code, or we did something, we created GL. So that's why I said it is not about couple of T codes. So first thing, before doing something in the system, a complete business process should be clear. So that's why the business process document need to be prepared first before doing any configuration. Until unless you are not clear about the business process, what the configuration you are going to do, how you are going to do the testing, and how you will confirm my test results are correct or not. So that is very, very clear. And 60-70% your performance in interview depends on these are. So without knowing anything, if you are doing some configurations or some settings, then in interview they are going to ask a lot of cross questions, and it is going to create problem for you, right? So next one is, what are the education skills required when you are going for consulting role? Although there is no standard instruction from SAP that how much one consultant should be qualified, but again, companies are going to take their call, like on a particular position, what should be the highest qualification they are looking. Mostly when you will go for a particular module, that domain experience is 100% is required. Means if you are saying that I will start working as a finance consultant, so you should good knowledge on the finance, on the costing, the tax, accounting standards. So all these things required. Some companies, they are going to hire with a qualification of BCom. Some companies, they need only CAs in that project, or let's say MBA finance, some reputed college. So this is completely depends on the budget of the project, what the customer want here, and what should be their resources. But make sure that whenever you are going to choose your product or your module, you should from the same domain. For example, if you are going for logistic module, particularly let's say procurement, you should have good knowledge on that area and the relevant qualification. So if you are going for finance module, then you should have the domain knowledge on that. Maybe you don't have SAP knowledge. If you have SAP knowledge, user knowledge, then it is good. But let's say you have other ERP knowledge, so it is also going to be considered as part of your domain experience. So that's why the qualification point of view, at least you should have a bachelor degree in business, IT, accounting, supply chain, some, like, not for a particular role everything is required. It is required that if you are going for finance module, then you should have a finance knowledge, accounting standard knowledge, taxation knowledge. If you are going for supply chain, then supply chain knowledge is required. So in every position you will find this requirement will be there. What is the education qualification they are looking here? Next one will be the basic understanding of SAP. Okay, so how we will get this one? If you're just going to say that I have theoretical knowledge, I know the concept, then it is not going to work when you are going for consulting role. 100% you should be very good. In fact, I would say that pro knowledge on the hands-on. And how you will get the hands-on expertise? You should work in the system on different business process. You need to configure, you need to test it, you will do the data uploading. So exactly how you are going to do in the project, when you are going to learn or when you are in the preparation phase, also make sure that you have to follow the same strategy. Next one will be the good communication. So as a consultant, we are going to communicate with the customer. It's not like a back-end job. You are going to sit somewhere and you are going to only work in the system. It's not like that. Initially, maybe in the support role, this will be there. But as a consultant, we have to regularly interact with our customer. Okay, a lot of meetings will be there. So 100% a good communications will be there. And when I'm saying good communication, both in writing and verbal. So that means you can communicate. Like suppose let's say you are not able to understand what the customer is saying, so obviously it is not going to work. And you need to prepare a lot of documentations, because you have to present your ideas, you have to communicate the things to the ABAP team. So that's why good communication is mandatory, both in verbal as well as in the writing. So it's mandatory, you don't have any choice, right? So it is required. Plus analytical thinking skills also required. So your attitude should be problem solving, because we are consultant, right? So we are going to simplify someone's problem. We are going to give the solutions to some business process or something which right now they are facing the problem. We are going to give the solutions irrespective of whatever module you have to choose. Like for example, let's say right now they are not using product costing. So as a consultant, as a CEO consultant particularly, you are going to give the solutions related to product costing. So if they are going to use your business process or your solutions, it is going to help to the business. That level of expertise is required, then only it is going to work. Here I have observed that many beginners go wrong. They directly jump into some transactions, doing some irrelevant configurations without knowing anything. And when they are doing the configurations, they are like doing some basic configurations, that one is not going to work. So you should know the business process flow. You can see this particular document. It's a business process document related to a business process. So you can see everything is connected with each other, right? So how the data is flowing to the system, right? How it is integrated with other module, right? So how it is connected with the sub module, because FI also having sub modules, CO also having sub modules. So that you need to understand, because once you will understand the business process of the customer, then only you will understand their problem, and then only you are going to give the solution. So step one is to understand the core business process related to your module. For SAP FI point of view, if I will take the example, suppose let's say you are going to configure record to report. Now record to report is not one activity, right? So it is the recording of the transactions, still preparing the reports, preparing final statements. Now you can see this particular document. This document is one transaction posted with finance, but multiple other areas are also updated. So you can see cost center is updated, profit center is updated. No user has posted all these things. So in backend, you have configured everything. You should configure FI, again, multiple ledgers you are going to configure, right? Because every company nowadays is going to follow different accounting standards. So that's why it is highly required that you need to configure the system accordingly. First, you should be very clear that what is my need. Accordingly, you are going to do the configuration, because when companies are going to post the transaction, they are going to reduce their workload. It's not like one transaction they will post for finance, another transaction they are going to post for CO. So with one transaction, the data should be there in the FI point of view, and the same is there from the overhead management point of view. It should be updated in a particular cost center. So that's why I always highlight that business process should be very clear. Then only you are going to do the system configuration. Similarly, if you are doing the solutions related to that means you are going to manage the procurement to payment. So we know the procurement payment is entire process. That means purchase requisition. For user, it is one activity, but for every activity, their backend configuration is required. So purchase requisition, then purchase order, then GR. So GR with reference to that, accounting integrations will be there, then vendor invoice, then payment. So as a finance consultant, maybe in this case, you don't have any role. But as companies are now looking everything end to end, so that means P2P is also coming to your area. But mostly you can say here, I don't want to configure the part because I am responsible for the FI point of view. But the problem here is, if you are not going to configure the entire business process, how you will confirm that my integration is working or not? You can check this document. It's a finance document. But this finance document is integrated with a source document, that is my document. Now, if I will not configure the then if I will not do the integration, how I will confirm that it is working or not? And if you are not configured, then how you will answer in your interview? Similarly, when you will go for your O2C, right? Order to cash. So in that case, it is also integrated with your SD document. When you will go for product costing, so product costing, you can see it is process is going to, you check this document. So this one is going to initiate from the production order. So from production order, multiple processes are there, multiple steps are there. Then finally, we are going to get a cost informations. So it's not like one activity where we are going to do something. User point of view, user is going to do couple of activities. In fact, in this case, logistic user is going to do their performance, their activities, and automatically the CO part is going to be updated. So that's why in backend, each and everything should be connected with each other, then only it is going to work. So that's why highly it is required. You should focus on all areas, not only one particular. That day is gone when you are just learn some basics GL, AR, AP from FI point of view, and you are going to get the consulting role. So it's not going to work. So you should be pro in all areas. Companies are ready to pay some more package to someone who can manage multiple business process, rather than they are not ready to pay less package or less price if you are not good in all areas, and you can say that I know the basic things and I can manage these things. So it is not going to work. So you have to understand everything. You need to understand your document flow. You need to have a understanding about the mappings, how the accounting integration is working. So all these things you need to understand, then only it is going to work. And the integration points, because SAP is famous for integration. So you should know that how the business process is integrated with each other, because if your FIMM integration is not working, then definitely your product costing will not work. So if product costing is not going to work, then why as companies will go for SAP implementations? Basic data entry related to accounting, that can be solved by very small ERP package, or even non ERP package like accounting software also can do that. So when the company is going for SAP implementation, they want that it should be fully integrated. And that's why when companies are going to hire you as a consultant, they are also expecting that you should be good in all areas. Anything business process you developed or you have practiced, make sure that you should highlight those in the resume as well. So that's why instead of doing some random configuration, always go for prepare some mini projects. You can take help of your mentor and prepare some mini projects, and according to that project you do the system configurations. You can see some examples related to mini project, related to P2P, O2C, product costing, because before doing some configuration you should be very clear what exactly you are going to configure. And once you will, on the basis of these projects, when you are going to configure something in the system, it is going to help you. Not only help you for preparation point of view, you can show that in your resume as a reference. Although I don't have any experience in SAP implementation, but each every business process I already configured in the system, and you can take the reference, right? So that you can add in your LinkedIn. So this project reference also you can give. So that is also going to help for your getting more calls. And second thing, interviewer also feel confident, okay, you have configured many things in the system, so maybe you are good for that particular positions. And make sure that you should use some keywords in your resume like configuration, end user support, master data, integrations, because no one is going to read the resume, so they are going to track the resume. So that's why your resume should be there, or it should be captured in the ATS. So that's why the keyword is very important when you are going to looking for a particular job, and it should be there in your resume. Also use some resume headlines like aspiring SAP consultant, functional analyst, or FI module, skill on P2P, R2R, process knowledge is there, right? So that any recruiter is going to catch on the basis of these keywords. Recruiter is going to catch your profile. And always post your learnings and your mini projects on the basis of how it will be visible, right? So you can give the reference of LinkedIn. In your LinkedIn you post, recently I have completed this configuration and this is the outcome, so that when you will be there in your interview, you can give those reference and add those links in your resume, so it is going to give more calls, right? And use some title always in the resume. And it's nothing wrong, as always I used to say that you can start your career with a analyst role if you're not getting the consulting role for a couple of months, because I have seen that always, or many companies, they promote their analyst to the consulting role. So initially you can start with analyst role for 6 months, 8 months, and after that automatically you will get a role in the same company or outside also as a consultant. You can start working as a junior functional consultant or associate consultant. You can take any support project also. So that is going to help you, right? So these are the areas you need to focus or you need to prepare, so that definitely you will get the job. So jobs are there. It's not like jobs are not there. Jobs are there. People are getting the jobs. Only thing is how you have prepared yourself and what is the right strategy you need to follow. Resume, I have seen that many people, they are preparing resume. They don't know anything about what they have mentioned in the resume. They have just got some resume, then edit, name change, address, email address, phone number change. That's it. No, your resume should not be prepared by someone, right? You should prepare your resume. You can take the help of someone while preparing the resume, but your resume means, when you are saying you are submitting your resume, you are signing, right? What is the purpose of that? You are saying that whatever information it is there in the resume, everything is true, and I prepared this one, means I know this one. If you are showing that I know all these things, make sure that you know those things. If you don't know anything and it is there in the resume question, because 30% questions you will expect from your resume, so that time it is going to create the problem. So confidently, once you will do the hands-on in the system, then only you can show in resume. So I hope you got some idea about this getting the first job or how to crack the interview. If you have any query, feel free to mail me. So if any question is there, so add in the comments or mail me. Definitely I will prepare one video or I will answer that one. See you soon. Thank you.